Hello and welcome to the NHL Best Bets. We had a few days break in NHL games. We had some time to watch Euro Championship, but now we are back in business with Islanders against Lightning, first round of semifinals tonight. And let's go quickly through the previous picks that we had. Colorado, Vegas. Colorado was not so efficient in their scoring chances as was needed. Vegas took a victory in Game 6 and won the West Division. Game final score was 6-3, so Mikko Rantanen scored one goal there, some green for our predictions or picks, but not both of these this time. Tommy, how do you saw this game that sent Colorado to fishing?
Yeah, Vegas was a lot better in that game, and Colorado couldn't get their pacey offense going at any point, and that was because Vegas was playing so well defensively. They managed to tighten up the gaps, and there was no room to maneuver for Colorado. They got a couple of chances. If you score 3 goals, you have a good chance of winning a hockey game. But Vegas was so good in front of the net as well. On the other end, they managed to score 6. So that's something that we're not expecting to see in a playoff game, especially when the other team is playing for their lives. That you allow 6 goals, you deserve to go to have a summer holiday. So not very good game from Colorado, but Vegas showed that they are extremely good, and especially in this playoff environment, they are the one of the best teams in the league for sure. Mikko Rantanen, of course, played a good game, scored a goal, did what he could to do to keep Colorado in the game. So nice green from there, but disappointing from Colorado's perspective. Very exciting to see how Vegas will go against Montreal, which is completely different sort of team than Colorado is. So how Vegas is going to approach this is still a question mark. So interesting to see.
Yeah, that series starts tomorrow, but already today, like I said, Tampa Bay against New York Islanders. We have few picks for that game. Here, Tampa is a clear favorite by the bookmakers and also by our simulations. There is value to bet Tampa, even though the odds are not very great. Minus 172 is current line. And then, as there is only one game, we picked also some player props. Andre Palat under 0.5 points, so no points for him. He has been scoring 5 points in last 11 games, so not so probable point scorer. Odds are not anything great, but there is clear value based on our simulations for this player prop.
Yeah, it's hard to find any value in this point of the season when you have one game, one very close game expected. But these are nice picks. Tampa Bay, I would say still that they are the best team in this league. Now in the playoffs, they've shown that they have still room for improvement. They've played better and better during these playoffs as well. Last season, these two teams met in the playoffs in the semifinals. Tampa Bay won that series 4-2, I think. Only game that was a clear one was the first one, which Tampa Bay won 8-2. That's probably not going to happen now. Islanders are maybe a little bit better than they were last season. Tampa Bay, some might argue that they are as well even better than they were last season when they won the Stanley Cup in the bubble. So expecting a very close game, but Tampa Bay is a step ahead. Always Islanders have a chance because of how they have upsetted now 2 of their better teams already. Maybe they can do that against Tampa Bay, but the first game, Tampa Bay will control the pace, will take the control of the puck, and will probably try to kill off Islanders' physical play and all this, because Tampa Bay is capable of doing just that. And Palat is a good player, but he's not the most probable goal scorer or a point maker in this team. Probably when the game is going to be very close, very tight, these guys like Braden Point, Victor Hedman, and Kucherov are the ones who get more responsibility in the offensive end, and Palat just tries to grind out the pucks to other guys. So let's go with the Palat no points as well. Let's see how that works out.
You have run also the simulations for this series. Will it be expected to last more than 4 games, or is Tampa Bay really better team than New York Islanders?
Yeah, the simulations are very interested in this pair because Tampa Bay is 65% favorites to win it, but the most probable final of this series will be the 7th game. So this is 31% chance of it going all the way to Game 7. So even if Tampa is ahead and better team, Islanders, especially at home, will be having a chance to put some problems into Tampa's play. 21% is the probability of Tampa winning 4-3. So in the final game of this series, in the Game 7. So I do, of course, hope that's the case because more hockey is always better, especially when there are 2 great teams playing. But Tampa Bay is a heavy favorite, as we have expected, and everyone else probably as well. Islanders are the surprise team of this season, so let's see how they match with the reigning champions.
How about then the other series? Montreal surprised us and many others by going to the Final 4 in playoffs. They face now Vegas that showed that they are one of the top teams, and they have been one of the top teams of the league throughout the season. Is that something like 4-0?
That could be. We have 2 teams that the simulations really don't like and haven't liked this season, Vegas and Montreal. Now in the end of the season, during the playoffs, the simulations started to warm up for Vegas, and now we have them 81% favorites in this series. It is due to the fact that Montreal grinded out their wins. They did not produce a lot of shots. They didn't do a lot of stuff statistically that would have led to winning, but they still did win. So a little bit of an odd bird there. 26% is the most probable ending result is 4-1. So Vegas in 5 games by 26%. Also cutting the series in 5 games, 30%. So Montreal also has a chance of 4% to cut it 1-4, but it's quite unlikely. But yeah, I do think this is going to be a lopsided thing, but I have not rated Montreal at all. So it's fault of mine, but I think the way Vegas played against Colorado, Montreal will have hard time trying to defend against that. So I do agree with the simulations that Vegas is heavy favorites to win this, and quite fast as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how these bit similar kind of teams are playing against each other, because it's clear now that any offense-heavy teams are not going to win a Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay could be also in this category, but when we think about pure offensive talent, Colorado, Carolina, Edmonton, Toronto, all they are going to fishing already. So it looks like old traditional type of defending hockey is still the way to win cups in NHL.
Yeah, it seems a bit we're back in the 90s or something, but yeah, like you mentioned, Tampa Bay still has a lot of offensive talent. So if they win it, they're kind of proving that you still need these sort of players to win games. But it is interesting that Islanders and Montreal are there. Vegas not that surprising, but they also have great defensive mentality, and their players in the defense are maybe better than in the offense.
How about then Stanley Cup odds? We've followed those throughout the playoffs, and when playoffs started, I remember there was some value to bet on Colorado. That bet wasn't too successful at the end. How about now? Is there any value out of these last 4 teams?
Yeah, the odds are always in the futures. They're put a little bit too low, so the return is not great. So it's hard to find value. This time we do have a little bit of value, about 1% compared It is DraftKings here, Tampa Bay Lightning plus 175. So in our books, they are the favorites. In the odds makers, the Vegas Golden Knights are favorites, probably due to the fact that Montreal is deemed a little bit lesser team than New York Islanders. So Tampa will have harder time passing Islanders than Vegas will have passing Canadians. But there is about 1% value. With Tampa Bay, we have them 38% winning the Stanley Cup. The odds makers around 37, so very close. But Tampa Bay is the team to jump to the wagon with if you want to bet on the Stanley Cup winner at this point.
And Vegas is somewhere around 34% chance to win, so it looks quite even there. Like you said, Tampa is favorite, but not too much.
Yeah, it will be if they go through to the Stanley Cup final, it will be a very close series. But the odds for Vegas are only 125, so Vegas is such a heavy favorite here that we rather go with the Lightning.
Let's see how the series will start tonight between Lightning and Islanders, and then we'll be back tomorrow with Vegas and Montreal.
See you tomorrow.